everyone, it's Kai. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a brand new speed build video. And today we are going to be building, I would like to call I guess you can call it a glass cottage or something along the lines of that. I'm not so sure what you want to call it. I'm not so sure what I want to call it myself. So it will be up to you whether you want to call it like a glass cottage or if it's also a glass Tudor house, because we are building in the world of Windenburg, which is the world that came with the Get Together pack, and it is one of the most beautiful worlds I can say for the game. And I built this, I think this is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom type of house. I built this last week, so I'm recording the voiceover for it this week, so kind of is a bit awkward for me because I tend to forget what I did for the interior and stuff, so I really hope you guys don't mind that. But I've had a hectic weekend because I fetched my cat from my parents' house and kind of moved her over here with me so that I have a friend over here. But yeah, what I meant by over here is somewhere in the city because my parents live somewhere outside the city. So yeah, that is how my weekend went. But I really hope you guys had a good weekend. It is going to be up, this video is going to be up I think on the 7th or 8th of February, so we are entering a new month and it seems like January passed like very quickly, and it was as if yesterday was New Year's. But anyways, this is a house fitted for a family consisting of 2 adults and also 2 children, and it is kind of a family home in the middle of the city, which is Windenburg. And I wanted to build something different because, as you can see, it is kind of a weird structure, I would say. There are a couple of glass areas for the build, and the main entrance basically is also made of glass, so it is something different from the other builds that I have done so far. And I really like this build, although it is kind of different looking. I wouldn't call it weird, but it's just not usual. But it is like I said, a 2-bedroom and 1-bathroom house, and it is situated in the proprietor square in Windenburg, which is located on the right side of the build where I built in one of my previous videos, which is the modern Tudor house. And the lot that we are building on is a 30 by 20, so it is quite a spacious lot. There is plenty of space for gardening for your Sims, so you can always place more than what I placed. I only placed like 4 planter boxes in this house, so you can definitely add in a bit more if you want to. And the general color scheme, as you can see, is a brick Tudor home with some paneling from the Get Together pack, and it is pretty, I would say, a nice color scheme for the exterior. And this build was quite challenging because of the space, and also because the main entrance is a glass compartment over here, you can see. But in the end, I think everything worked out pretty fine, although I will be removing this set of stairs which is awkwardly placed. And I realized that like later on in the video, so you will see me just adjusting the height of the foundation. So in the end, the house turned out to be on flat ground instead of on a foundation. But I really hope you guys don't mind that. If you want to like raise it up by a few steps, you can definitely do so, but you just have to place some stairs for the glass compartment. So that's pretty much it for the concept of the structure of the home. And as you can see, I placed these beautiful bougainvillea flowers from the Jungle Adventure pack because I thought that the flowers on it looked pretty nice, and I chose the white color flowers instead of the red or purple ones because it looks prettier that way, contrasting with the green ivy that is from the vampires pack, I believe. And I really like how the decoration for the exterior turned out. So if you want to download this house, you can definitely do so under my ID, which is simmerkhai, up on the gallery. It will be up by the time this video is up, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I haven't done a voiceover in like a couple or 3 or 4 days like that, and I feel kind of like I don't really know what to say, but I will try my best to, you know, like narrate this build, I guess you can call it that way. But I had a lot of fun landscaping this build. Also, you will see that I will also be putting some bushes from the debug menu, and just around the build it is just scattered everywhere, and there isn't a general color scheme for the landscaping that I did for this build, but it is just a simple concept for the landscaping. And I really hope that you guys will like the landscaping as well, and you guys don't really mind the scattering of bushes, because some people mind that. I think some people really like landscaping that is very arranged neatly and also is very minimal. But for this build, I decided not to go with a minimal concept since I wanted the house to look like it is kind of overgrown with the ivy that is from the vampires pack that came with the Sims. So I just proceeded with that. But then over here you can see that I'm just deciding what kind of fencing I wanted to use, and I wanted to use some fencing that is very, very different from the packs. So I decided to go with these ones that are from the debug menu of the base game, and it is kind of this brick texture on it. The height of the fence I thought was pretty nice for this build, so I decided to use that. It is not very tall and it is not too short either, so it is kind of this perfect height, which is also made of brick. And I wanted to go consistent with the concept as well, because the wallpaper that I use for the exterior is a brick type of wallpaper from the base game. So I decided to use something that surrounds the house that is also of that material, but I couldn't really find like a nice colored one. So I decided to go with these plain ones, like I said, that is from the debug menu of the base game. And I really like how the pattern is on that, because it is pretty simple, but in my opinion it doesn't, I mean, it suits more than one type of build. By that I mean, like, you can definitely use it for any type of build that you build, so it looks nice and very like clean. But over here you can see I'm just deciding what to put over there on the front part of the house where the stairs are, and I couldn't really find anything, so I just left it blank. But in the end, like I said, I will just be removing that set of stairs and also bringing down the foundation so that the house lays on flat ground, so it kind of looks more simpler that way. I think I like the house with or without the stairs, so both situations kind of like made me like the house. I'm not so sure how you want to describe that, but yeah, either way, we are working on the landscaping right now, and I tried to keep the landscaping at minimal. As you can see, I just put in a couple of tall bushes that are from the debug menu, I believe, and also surrounded it with a couple of bushes from the debug menu of the base game. And then we are moving on into the interior over here, and the color scheme for the interior is pretty much consistent throughout and just matched with the exterior, which is this pale brown color from the base game, I believe the wallpaper is. And I used the counters from the what is that pack called with the witches and stuff? I forgot what it's called. Realm of Magic. Yes, that is the pack, and I use the counters that are from that pack simply because I don't really use them that often when it comes to building builds and houses. So I decided to showcase them in this build and just use kind of a lot of clutter that I don't really use, and also some decorations and how I place them in terms of the arrangement and stuff. And the kitchen turned out pretty good in my opinion. And as you can see, there are a lot of white colors and just a lot of clutter. I decided to include a couple of fireplaces in this build since there are 2 chimneys that I put on the roof. So I decided to go with the consistency of that. And then I also placed the fireplaces underneath the chimneys directly. So I don't really do that, but that is something I achieved in this build, and so it looks more consistent that way. And then over here where the glass paneling is going to be the dining room, which is a pretty small area and crowded area, but I think I like the way it turned out because I decorated it and kind of split it with a side table from the cottage living pack, so it doesn't look too crowded if I put in a wall instead of that that side table. But I decided to put in the side table simply because I wanted to be kind of this open area, and it's just pretty arranged and also pretty nice if I put it like that. But anyways, I also put in the same curtains throughout the whole build, which are from the cats and dogs pack, and I sized them down using the tool mod to make them fit in the like hallways and also the separation for the spaces, so it looks more cozy that way. And I think I just use like white curtains throughout the whole build since that's the only color I believe that suits this type of color scheme, because I didn't really want to go crazy with the color scheme and also patterns. So I decided to just use some simple curtains and just, you know, go consistent with everything from the inside and out of the house. And then over here we are moving on to the bedroom of the kids, which fit 2 Sims. And for this family that lives here, I pictured that they consist of a couple of daughters which may or may not be twins, and one of them is pretty into crafts, and so I decided to put in this craft table from the Nifty Knitting Stuff Pack. And then the other daughter is more relaxed and into like pop culture maybe, so there is minimal decoration for her. And you will see that I will also be putting a couple of posters for each of the sides of the beds, so it kind of fits in more for the personality that I was imagining or that I had in mind. And then I just pictured that the girl who is into crafts is very, very sensitive and spoiled. So I decided to put in a teddy bear, which I imagined that, you know, she owns that teddy bear since she was a kid, and she's just clinging on to that until she's grown up, I guess. I'm not so sure if any of you have a teddy bear that you have since you were younger, but I definitely don't, because my parents pretty much like threw away everything that is related to my childhood, because, you know, we all grow up and we all like moved out of the parents' house, so it kind of doesn't make sense, or there's no point in having like childhood toys that, you know, just to be kept as memories. But over here is going to be the parents' bedroom, which is a couple of Sims that can fit in here, and I also put in some various objects that I think suited this space. And I haven't play tested this build yet, unfortunately, but I think everything works really nicely because there isn't a lot of cluttered space in this area. And then the parents' bedroom also has their own fireplace and chimney. And the fireplace that I use for this bedroom is the one that is from the Cottage Living Pack, which is a pretty fireplace. I think it is one of my favorite fireplaces for this game, other than the one that is from the Snowy Escape and also Eco Lifestyle Pack. I think that the fireplace that is from the Cottage Living Pack is really nice and looks really cozy. And then over here is going to be the last part for the interior, which is the common bathroom. It is pretty small, as you can see, and it's just shared between the 2 bedrooms that are for the parents and also the daughters. Oh yeah, and this is going to be the final part for the interior, which is the living room. I decided to furnish this space last simply because I didn't really know what kind of concept I wanted to go for, and also I found it hard to furnish it since there is a space that is the entrance, which is made of glass, over on the right side of this view. So it was kind of hard for me to figure out what kind of furniture I wanted to include and how I wanted to arrange it. So I decided to furnish it last, but I think in the end it really turned out nicely, and the space is pretty adequate for the furniture size. So there is not much for you to worry about when you play with this house, because when I was taking the screenshots, my sim could access this part of the house, which is the living room. So yeah, I think that is about it for the interior, and then we are going to be moving on to the exterior, which is a pretty like I would say simple type of decoration, because I ended up just putting some lawn essentials like a table and also some planter boxes and stuff like that. Oh yeah, and over here is the entryway, which is just simply decorated with a coat rack and also a painting. And then, like I said, over here is going to be the final part of the house, which is the exterior, and it is also just simply decorated with a couple of planter boxes over there, you can see, and also a monkey bar for the kids, who I imagine are not adults yet. They are just preteens or in the range of that age range. But anyways, that will be the end of the video. So I'm really sorry if this video and voiceover isn't really as exciting as the other videos, but I really hope you guys will like this video and build. If you do like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And I hope to talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!